There are different types of inheritances supported in C++. Let us look at types of inheritances. So first is, if you have a class A, I'll be using letters A, this is a base class, and this is a derived class, that is a child class. So a class is inheriting from a existing class. This is one method. So this is called as simple or single inheritance. Right? This is simple or single inheritance, right? Next is, if you have a class A, then from that there are more than one classes inheriting, that is B is inheriting from this one, and C is inheriting from this, as well as a D is inheritance. So more than one classes are inheriting from same class. This is hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance. Then next possibility is, if there is a class A and from that class B is inheriting, from that class C is inheriting, so this is multi-level inheritance. This is multi-level. Then next is, if there is a class A and B, two classes are there, and from both of them there is one class inheriting, that is C, this is multiple inheritance. Yes, this inheritance is little different compared to other languages. Multiple inheritance means a class can inherit from more than one classes in C++. So it means for one class there can be more than one base classes. Yes, this is possible in C++. A class can inherit from more than one classes. If you know a little bit about Java, it's not allowed in Java. Java doesn't have multiple inheritance. So there is another way of achieving multiple inheritance. Now why a class needs to inherit from multiple classes and all, I'll explain that. So let us see this. Let us see all these things. I'll give you some examples, right? Suppose you have a class called rectangle. We saw already this one, rectangle. And from that we wrote one class called cuboid. This is an example of simple inheritance. Or if you just look at A and B, it is simple. A and C, it is simple. Simple means a class is inheriting from another class. That's it. Okay. Then all these are extension of that one. Now this hierarchical. See, suppose I have a class called shape. Yeah, shape. What are the shapes? See, rectangle is a shape. Right. I'll write in short, rect. Then a circle is a shape. Yes, circle is a shape. And quadrilateral is also a shape. So this is one example. Now another example I'll give you. Suppose car is a class, then from that a class, that is Innova, is a class, right? And Skoda is a class. This is a car. Innova is a car, Skoda is also a car, or Suzuki is a car. So instead of Innova, I'll just change it and say Toyota. So all these are cars. So there is a parent class car. This is an example. Now this example is interesting. In this example, when you have hierarchical inheritance, in this hierarchy, the parent class is a generalized class, general class. See, these are specific. Toyota is a specific car and Skoda is a specific car. Suzuki is a specific car. Then what is this? It's a general term. It's a general term. Not really exist in the world, right? But as a general term we use it. So many things we call it as car. Many four-wheelers we call it as car. So this is a general term. So this approach is generalization approach. This is an interesting one. We will explore more about this one. We'll discuss more. Then multi-level inheritance. For multi-level inheritance, I'll say one. Suppose I have a class called point. Point will have the coordinates, let us say x and y coordinates. Then radius of a point is 0. If you give radius to a point, then it becomes circle. So a circle is inheriting from point. Then to that circle, if you give height, it will become cylinder. So like this you can define multi-level classes. So this is an example of multi-level inheritance. Now finally, multiple inheritance. I'll give an example here. Suppose it's a smartphone. Smartphone. Smartphone is a phone as well as camera. Though there are many things in this one, so it is having phone, camera and media player. Lot of things are available, but I am showing only two things, that is phone and camera. So that's how these are the various type of inheritances available in C++, and for each I have given some examples. Practically I will show you, I'll give you different examples by writing some programs for different types of inheritances. Now there is one problem in this one, we'll discuss about that. Now next, there is one more type of inheritance we say, that is hybrid. Mixing hierarchical and multi-level, or multiple and multi-level, like this we can mix up. But when we try to mix hierarchical, that is A, from that there are two subclasses, that is B and C, and from C and B and C there is one more class that is inheriting, that is a D. Now this is a combination of hierarchical inheritance from the top, and at the bottom it is multiple inheritance. So if you are having this type of inheritance, this is allowed in C++, but if you have this, then the features of base class A will be appearing in D via A or B also, via C also. Suppose I have one method, that is function fun here, that function will be available via B, via C in the D. So when you call the function, it means there are two copies of functions in the D that are coming from B also, coming from C also. So this will be called as multipath inheritance. So this type is multipath inheritance. So D is getting the features of A via B and C, so this is multipath. So here we get the ambiguity that the function fun should be called via B or via C, so we get the ambiguity. To remove this ambiguity, we have the concept of virtual base classes. So I'll show you how this is removed. See, we have a class called A, then it is having something inside. Then we have a class called B, which is publicly inheriting from A. So we say virtual public A. Again, next class C, that is virtual public A. So now these two classes are called as virtual base classes. Virtual base classes. Now if I have a class that is a D, which is inheriting from public B and public C. Now this class D is inheriting from B as well as C, where B and C both are virtual base classes. If you write this, then the problem of ambiguity of that function appearing via B and C will be removed. This problem will not be there. So that's it. These are virtual base classes. Basically from C++ compiler we have limited built-in classes available. If you are developing your own C++ classes for your project, and if you are organize them in the hierarchy, you are inheriting them from one another, then there may be a chances that you may come across this type of situation. So to avoid that situation, you can make the base classes as virtual base classes. So this is the concept of virtual base classes. They are useful for removing the ambiguity of the features of parent class in the derived class, that are coming via multiple paths. So that's it. So I will write some code and show you how it looks like, how it works.